So the message is that as we approach the elections, the people should go all out.
People have to go all out and ensure that changes are affected in their lives. And the media must help this time around. Just like you watched the elections in America and the United Kingdom and other places, where the media interrogates the past of politicians. The media takes them to task. And the media tries to find out what you want to do for the society. We're not going to get there. If it's just about refurbishing the image, of people of questionable integrity and pedigree who are running all over the place, we're not going to get it right. I know in one of the states where elections are due, where the media, up to now, the press has not interrogated the past of the candidates, governorship candidates. If you do that, if the media can do that, we then know who has made any contribution to the society. We want to know whether any of them in the recent past engage in murderous activities and the rest of them. And that is the only way to move the society forward. In other countries, even if you smoked as a secondary school student, that will be brought out. You then have to justify why you did it. If you engage in drug trafficking or whatever, if you engage in killings, you have to justify your actions. But here, we all just shout hallelujah for every candidate. And it's not going to lead to any genuine democracy. Yeah.
So you think that the media hasn't done enough?
No, I mean, to be fair, the media will have to. If a candidate is contesting election, the media must find out where you are coming from. We must find out whether your programs are realizable. And how do you want to implement your manifestos? But when we just, so is contesting election. Oh, is a Christian or a Muslim. Oh, is from the minority or the majority tribe. Oh, his ethnic group has never become a governor in this state. We are going to continue to have problems.
One issue that many people have identified as a threat to the nation's democracy is this whole issue of security, the Boko Haram issue. What do you make of the way that the political class is currently handling this issue?
Nobody is satisfied. Not even the president. I mean, if you watch his last media shot, the president was rather exasperated. The president is frustrated by what happens around us. I mean, there is no leadership of a country that will not be embarrassed by the development around us. The fact that a ragtag army of a satanic group like the Boko Haram sect, can unleash such mayhem on innocent and unarmed people, including secondary school girls and women, we must be bothered. The leadership of a country must be worried. And having regard to the fact that it is provided in the Constitution, Section 14, subsection 2b, that the security and welfare of Nigerians shall be the primary purpose of government. We neither have welfare nor security in the country. And so, there are problems which have to be addressed. And all attention is about the architecture of security by acquiring arsenals, or the army is not well equipped. We need to acquire modern weapons.
Because Boko Haram is more sophisticated.
Boko Haram is more sophisticated than the rest of them. Yes. Hardly do we pay any attention to the socioeconomic implications of criminality, of terrorism. How come that young men and women who should be in school or who should be gainfully employed are driven to criminality? Whether of the terrorist type or kidnapping or armed robbery and other violent crimes. The ruling class is not paying attention to the fact that boys and girls in their active years have left schools, roaming the street. Since it is often said that the devil finds work for idle hands, it is easy for the Boko Haram sect and other nihilist organizations to mobilize them because the state has refused to engage them. For me, that is the most serious aspect of the wave of criminality that is going on in the country. But that is not to say that the armed forces are being motivated to fight the Boko Haram sect. In recent time, this is the first time a war has been waged for about 3 years in a country by the federal government, by the joint task force, and there is no hero. This war has produced no hero on the side of the country. Unlike the Civil War that lasted 30 months, you saw commitment on both sides to win the war. This one, we have reports in the local and international media that the Boko Haram sect has more sophisticated weapons than our armed forces, which is very disgraceful. Secondly, that in the last 3 years, about 3 trillion has been earmarked for the defense of this country. But apparently, a lot of questions will have to be asked. And I have repeatedly pleaded with the authorities. Do what other countries do. When a soldier is killed in Afghanistan in combat, or Iraq, in the United States, the Secretary of Defense, like a Minister of Defense, Secretary for Defense, will write a letter in longhand to the family, not typed, to show some degree of humanity. Will write a letter to inform the family that we have lost a hero in your son or in your daughter. On behalf of the government, we express sympathy. From there, within 1 month, certain sum of money will be paid to the family while the system is working out the final entitlements. Meanwhile, before the announcement is made, a letter has gone to the family. Then arrangements are made for the burial. And it's a heroic burial.
So that you know that you're not giving up your life.
So that you know you are not dying in vain. And that your country appreciates you in your lifetime and
even after you're gone.
After you are gone. But we're not doing anything like that here. So when we talk of motivating the soldiers, you got to pay them their allowances as and when due. You got to kit them. Some of the people we are sending to the war front, from the information at my disposal, do not have bulletproof vests. It is as bad. It is as bad. So, and the Boko Haram sect is taking advantage of that. But I believe a lot has to be done by the authorities of the armed forces. If they need more funds, they should approach the presidency and the National Assembly, because this is a battle we cannot afford to lose. And like I did say a few days ago, we're not asking the Nigerian government to chase these guys to the neighboring countries. We want them defeated. But we also want peace in the region.
Let's end with the controversy of the pension law of the Akwa Ibom state government. Is there any legal basis on which that can be justified?
To use the advantage of your office to sign a law giving you a substantial fund, public fund, that should be earmarked for development, building schools, hospitals, and making life much, much better for the people. It's a pity. But for me, I don't think, I think the governor has now challenged some of us to look at this law more closely. I do not believe that a fundamental certain provisions of the Code of Conduct for Public Officers have not been violated. Do not, it's tantamount to a conflict of interest. If you have to sign a law transferring funds to yourself in futuro, I don't see how you can justify it under the law.
Because it's not the only one that has done it.
No, I'm just saying now, of course, from Lagos to Kano, Gombe, and the rest of them, we have had laws, pension laws, which have stipulated that a house will be acquired for the former governor in the state capital and in the federal capital. For heaven's sake, for what purpose? In one of the states, I think the house given to the governor in his home state, I think was about 300 million, while the one acquired in Abuja was about 700 million. And again, the governor of an Akwa Ibom state may be around for the next 30, 40 years. How do you justify giving 100 or 200 million naira to one individual every year in a country where it is difficult, where some states have not been able to pay the minimum wage of 18,000 naira per month? It is unacceptable, it is inequitable, it is unjust, and for me, with profound respect, it is illegal.
That's the program for today, but do let's keep the conversation going online via Facebook, email, or Twitter. I'm Shola Shayeli. Thank you for watching.